If you don't want to watch the rest of the video and you just want to get my opinions on the mod, you want to hurry up and know what I think about the mod, I think Better Than Adventure is a really good mod, a great mod. I think it does just about everything right. There's not much about the game that I think hinders it. Most of my complaints are minor nitpicking at worst, right? I think it's a great mod. I think it's a good vision for the game, and I think it does just about everything right. There's not really much I can elaborate on unless you feel like watching a 20-minute video where I ramble about a Minecraft. But I recommend it. I think it's a really good mod if you want to kind of rediscover Minecraft, if you want to go through that exploration phase of Minecraft where you're learning how the game works again. I think this is the perfect mod to do that in. It has a vision for the game and it does it well. But to go ahead and get my positives over the game aside and leave the complaints for the near the end of the video, I think the mod looks great. I think the aesthetic it's going for, that being the beta aesthetic, I think it does it pretty damn good. Most of the graphics they've made that are completely new, original graphics, the textures look fine, the models look fine. I think they did a really good job getting that aesthetic they're going for. It looks Most of the stuff they added looks like it belongs in the beta version. The concept of the mod itself is somewhat interesting. I really like these kind of mods that are what if scenarios with video games. I've been keeping my eye on the Pre Fortress 2 mod for a few years now, and I'm glad they're actually like deciding to add new content, because not only is that going to make people want to play the mod in the first place is new content, but it acts as a what if scenario on what if Valve made Team Fortress 2 more like Team Fortress Classic and they added new weapons into it, right? A what if scenario. I'm all for it. I like these alternate reality versions of games, and I think Better Than Adventure is a really, really good way to play an alternate reality version of Minecraft, where Notch kept making it more beta styled. And the concept alone is very interesting. A lot of the items they add, a lot of the mechanics they add seem very beta like. There's a lot that's there that feels in line with a beta, and I there's nothing that they really added that I don't like. Again, I'll leave complaints near the tail end of the video, but I'll elaborate more on what I don't like about what they added. I think the armor system they have, the armor and tool system, is really good. Instead of having a clear progression system where something is objectively better than something else and you would never want to go back to it, like in Minecraft, like once you get stone, there's no reason to use wood. Once you get iron, there's no reason to use stone. When you get diamond, there's no reason to use iron or gold. Once you get netherite, there's no reason to use diamond. There's a clear progression in it. Whereas in Better Than Adventure, you use these different types of armor and tools for different things. There's different reasons to use them. And all armors are useful in their own specific scenarios. Diamond armor is still generally the best armor to use, but like specifically for fire resistance and overall damage protection, diamond is still the best. But it has the highest fire resistance. With chainmail armor, it has the best combat resistance. I think steel has the highest blast resistance. Leather's good for falling damage. I forget what iron was for, but the tools like diamond tools, efficiency enchanted tools in regular Minecraft. Um, Steel is like the unbreaking tools where they have higher durability. So I found myself using a mix of different tools. So generally, I would have like steel tools as like fodder tools where I just use them because they last forever, and I'll have like diamond tools specifically if I want to clear out something really quickly. So I was ending up using a mix of different tools. Generally, I was using the diamond armor because again, it has the highest average resistances, so it's like, why would I ever want to use anything else? Steel armor, I think, like looks cool, and the steel tools look really cool too. But still, I have no real reason to ever use steel armor other than the fact it lasts longer. Because again, it has overall worse resistances than diamond. So still, the concept is good, and they executed it pretty well. I think they did a good job in implementing it, but still, diamond is still better than everything else. Some of the new blocks they've added, like the activator being able to like place blocks, is interesting. I haven't messed with it too much, but being able to actively place blocks it's an interesting concept. The reinforced piston I haven't messed with much, but it's more redstone technology people can mess with, so I'm sure there's cool stuff you can do with it. The mesh blocks are really cool. So like farming is something I'll have my own specific complaint about, like automatic farms in this mod. Um, but they do really weird stuff, and it seems like they go back and forth with what they want to do with automatic farms. But gold meshes in particular is really good for it. But mesh blocks are really good for it. So like the mesh blocks, regular iron mesh blocks will just let items phase through it, whereas like mobs will walk over it, right? Gold meshes filter items. So right, if you only want a certain type of item flowing through, you put it on the mesh block and it'll let that through. So I think awesome idea. It has a lot of applications that Minecraft is missing, where if you want to filter out items, you have to do this weird giant hopper and chest mechanism that's really annoying, and I'm never going to do in a normal Minecraft playthrough. The basket is good for automatic farms, but that's only because hoppers don't exist, and I'll get into my complaints about that later. But some of the new decorative blocks are nice. Like I think the painted wood types, the wood planks are nice. I think the different trees they added visually, like I really like eucalyptus trees. The whole outback biome I think looks nice. It's of course based on Australia, but I think it's visually interesting, especially when compared to like other equivalents in regular Minecraft, which don't look that good. The flags they added are nice. You can actually like cut, like you don't have to do weird patterns in a crafting table or use a loom. You just put the flag down, use the dye colors you have, and draw on the flag. So it's very convenient to use flags. The lamps look nice. You can actually do a little more with them since you can color them individually, so you can have like a light show with that. That's pretty cool. The mod itself is good. There's not a lot about the mod that I don't like. Like the chain link fences were cool. I think they feel like mod territory. Like most of this mod doesn't feel like a mod. Like I said, it feels like an alternate reality version of Minecraft. There's some stuff that feels like a mod. The chain link fence is one of them. It doesn't fit stylistically. It's very weird. It's too modern of an item to be put in a Minecraft. It just doesn't feel right. The rope you can use to climb up and down places, like not only is it like kind of pointless since you can just do that with a bucket of water, but it feels like a mod. I'm just not about it. Most of it is something I like. There's quite a bit there that I like, but with most of my complaints are nitpicks, and it's things that I can overlook to an extent. But so let's start off with a hopper, man. There's no hopper. There's no hopper in the mod. Why? Why can't you just backport what is objectively a good addition, right? And it's something that I want to like elaborate more on in my TF2 Gold Rush video that I'll do. But it's something I call the purity spiral, where people who are doing projects like this, who are trying to preserve like a certain idea, a certain aesthetic, or preserve that nostalgia that they have for something, and they do it to the detriment of something in and of itself. Not all old things are good, and not all new things are bad. I don't think I have to say that, but there's some things that are just better than other things. And not having the hopper is like a part of that purity spiral thing. Of course, the basket kind of acts like the hopper, but the issue with the basket is it has a limited storage space. I think it's 26 items maximum. I could be misremembering, but that's not worth anything. That's not enough storage. So you're going to have to be constantly babysitting the basket, taking items out and manually putting it in a chest. Otherwise, it's going to fill up and all the other items are just going to flow out around it and lag your game a bit. It's just like the hopper why can't I just put down a hopper, connect it to a chest? Because it's doing the same function the basket is. There's no reason not to have it. It comes across as the purity spiral that I've come up with here recently. That this phrase that I've come up with, it's a little hard for me to really elaborate on, but it's to the detriment of the mod. And another part of this purity spiral is crops. You still trample crops in this game. Now, granted, I know that if you put on leather boots, you won't trample the crops. In fact, you can jump on the crops if you have boots on. I don't care. It's a bad, annoying feature. You should minimize the amount of annoyances people have in a video game. An annoying feature like that should not exist. It just shouldn't. There's no reason for it to be there. It's just annoying. Now, I'm not saying a game doesn't have to be challenging. Fuck, I just made a video about games not being challenging enough, right? But this isn't challenging. This is just annoying. There's no real reason that you should trample crops in this fucking mod. And now I have to waste an entire inventory slot just for leather boots. Just so anytime that I'm fucking around with crops, I can put those on and not trample them. Or I have to have a chest set aside for my crops with the leather boots in there. So I have to open the chest, put in my inventory, then open my inventory, move the armor, because you can't quick move armor, you have to manually move it. So you take the armor off, you put the boots on, and then you do that. All for me to open the chest and take the leather boots off of open my inventory, take the leather boots off, put my other boots on, open the chest, put the leather boots in there. Like, that's annoying. That's annoying as fuck. There's no reason that should be in the mod at all. There's no justification for that whatsoever. It's just an annoying feature that shouldn't fucking be there. Another annoying feature is I have to cheat to enable sprint. Okay, I'm not gonna sit there. I never got into the beta, right? I didn't play Minecraft in the beta. First version I played was the Xbox 360 version, okay? I'm not gonna sit there and LARP as like the Nostalgia Reno beta player, right? But there's no reason sprint can't be a toggleable feature by default. In fact, I'd argue it needs to be enabled by default, but, you know, why can't I just open a menu, enable it, and then have sprint? Why do I have to cheat? I have to enable cheats and type in a command to allow sprint. Why? Not only that, why, if you're gonna backport the sprint into the beta version of Minecraft, why can't you backport the fucking hopper? It's just stupid decision. Why did you backport this one thing but not this other thing? And I have a lot of similar arguments with Goldenrod. Another complaint I had was animal breeding. There is none. You can't breed animals in this version. Again, I'm not a Nostalgia Reno beta player, but why can't I breed animals? There's no reason that I shouldn't be able to, because it's just annoying. It's just an annoying feature that I have to wait for our mob RNG spawn to dictate what kind of items I'm gonna get. You need leather? Well, fuck you. You're gonna have to wait until cow spawns randomly, right? Can't breed it, so every time you kill a cow, you're gonna have to wait until another one spawns. You need food really bad? You're gonna have to wait until a pig, because the pig's the only animal that gives food, so you have to wait until a pig spawns. Need feathers? Gonna have to wait for a chicken. You need wool, you're gonna have to wait for a sheep. It's just annoying. And not only that, but they added mob variants, so there's different types of mobs. What's the point in adding mob variants into the game if there's no reason to collect mobs, whatever? So you can't breed them, so there's no reason to collect them. Why did you add mob variants? There's no point in them. Why? Why are they here? It's just really annoying. It's just like that purity spiral where they're trying to preserve the wrong aspects of this era of Minecraft. This is not fun. Why is this here? There's no reason for this to be here. It's like if I played a game, it's like the best game ever, first person shooter from the 90s, right? And there's a feature where every 5 seconds you lose 5% of your health. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's an annoying feature. Why is that there? That shouldn't be there. And then some guy makes an up-to-date version of this game, and he says to himself, "Oh yeah, let's keep the 5% health drain every at random." Why? Why would you do that? That's stupid. And I know people will be like, "Oh, you're equating the false equivalencies." It's like, no, that is the same fucking thing. It is an annoying fucking feature, or an annoying lack of a feature that is there for no other reason than to preserve more purity, right? It's stupid. It's just fucking stupid. You know, again, most of my complaints with this mod are nitpicky. The only other, genuine thing that I can deal with, because there are ways around it, is a trommel. Why is it called the tumbler? What the fuck is a trommel? It's a tumbler, bro. You can literally watch the dirt in the thing spinning and tumbling. Why don't you just call it the tumbler? Conceptually, it feels like a mod item. It doesn't feel like a natural Minecraft item. But its point, I like. If you're in a biome that doesn't have a lot of clay or other resources, you can get those resources pretty easy by just putting dirt in the trommel. So conceptually, I'm fine with it, even though it doesn't feel like a Minecraft item. My only real complaint about the thing is the items pop out of it from all sides. So you can't just make a whole line of them, put the items in the bag so the items pop out the front. No, that's not how it works. The items pop out from all sides. So that's really, Really fucking annoying. There's no way to make some kind of like self-made farm or self-propelled farm at all. I tried doing that. I was really annoyed when I couldn't. I'd have to literally have to block all sides, and then if I ever wanted to access them again, dig through the back of them. And the front's the only exposed part leading to water. That's really annoying. This is a why. Why is this? Why? Why did you design this like this? But, you know, again, most of it's just nitpicking. There's not much I can really add to it. I think this is a really, really good mod. There's no reason not to play it, honestly, aside from like minor annoyances. I think it's really good. And I thought it was good enough that at one point I was considering hosting a Minecraft server for Better Than Adventure, but I ultimately decided against it. I adore this mod. I think it's really good. The only other thing I want to mention, it's not really Minecraft specific, but there's a lot of people who refuse to play mods or games because certain people develop it. And I understand that. I mean, most of my channel is calling out these politically motivated bad actors in general, but I have to say to you, there comes a point where you deprive yourself of enjoyment by doing it. This is my philosophy, okay? Unless it's directly shoving political propaganda in your face in something that it shouldn't be, then don't deprive yourself of the fun. I don't think there's a single part in all of Team Fortress 2 Classic where I saw a tranny flag or a gay pride flag or anything like that. There might be there. I don't know. I don't know how to go looking for them, and I'm not really going to. I shill that mod. I fucking love that mod. That's probably my hands-on my favorite Team Fortress 2 mod. And all of the dev team almost are troons or gay people. Yet all the time I'll get people who refuse to play that mod because, oh, trannies made it. I don't want to play that. Trannies made it. You're depriving yourself of fun. Yes, trannies made Better Than Adventure. That's not in the mod itself. Unless the mod itself or the game itself is shoveling propaganda in your mouth, there's no reason not to play it. That's my philosophy. I can understand why you wouldn't want to. I'm not gonna, say you're a bad person for doing it. I agree with you, honestly, but there's no point not to play it, especially if it's fucking free. You're not giving them money. I just wanted to mention that as like a last bit because I didn't want to focus too heavily on that, but I recommend the mod. I think it's probably one of my favorite Minecraft mods out there.
Bad things always come from
So,
Discord.
the people that I do want to talk to, who put snow golems in my goon cave?